So we have the privilege, is that everyone? Yeah, tonight we have the honor and the privilege of hearing from the man himself, the big dog of our youth, and that's Matt. Honestly guys, I just want to encourage you guys to just put your phones away. It's what, 10, 15 minutes of your life, you won't die, and just really listen to what he has to say. Because honestly, if you guys actually listen to him, this needs onto him. So just put your phones away, don't worry about it for now. Tell your girlfriend, boyfriend, you'll talk to them later, your mom and dad. But on a serious note, y'all just listen up to what he's got to say tonight. And I can guarantee you guys what he says tonight will impact you in some way or another. So give it up for Matt.
Thank you very much. We're going to watch a video real shortly. It's real quick. And then I'll jump up, talk real quick, and then we're going to split like the Red Sea. So we're going to dim the lights. Whoosh, whoosh. Alright. And here we go. Give us a countdown, 10 seconds. Give a 10-second countdown.
Come on, anybody excited to be at Hillsong Conference this morning? Oh, come on, you can do better than that on the last day. Come on, let's give Jesus some praise in this place. Hallelujah. You may be seated. Don't get comfortable. You might be back up again. I don't know about you, but I am just, I'm Red Bull excited and espresso elated that I came this week to Hillsong Conference. This week has been phenomenal, to say the least, and I love Australia. I love this church. I love Pastor Brian and Pastor Bobby. And I know we've given honor all week, but I just don't think you can ever give too much honor. So would you help me thank God for the leadership of Pastor Brian and Pastor Bobby? I love them so much. You know, last night, Bishop reminded us that the elephant is over there. And I want to talk to you about a different elephant that I'm sure you noticed as soon as I got up here. You probably noticed this glow that's emanating from my face this morning. And it's not the Shekinah glory. It's not the lighting that's here in the All Phones arena. It's not even because I use exfoliating skin products. But the reason I have a little bit of glow is because I've been married for 10 months, 6 days, 23 hours and 6 seconds to the most beautiful woman in the world. Taylor Madu, my wife, is with me. And so we're kind of on an extended honeymoon here in Australia this week. And you know, the Bible declares that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. And I want to share my testimony because, believe it or not, I almost died on my honeymoon. Almost died on my honeymoon. It was real. The morning of my honeymoon, I had incredible romantic pressure because it wasn't only my honeymoon, it was also my wife's birthday. So I had huge romantic pressure. So I woke up that morning, I did what every guy does when he's in love with his woman. I dropped my voice real low. I said, baby, I said, today is your day. Whatever you want to do today, this is your day. She said, well, no, babe, this honeymoon is birthday enough. I don't need anything. I'm good. I said, I don't think you heard me. I said, today is your day. Whatever you want to do today, we're going to do. All of a sudden, my wife's face lit up like Christmas. And she said, oh, do you know what I've always wanted to do? I said, no, but we're going to do it. Next words that came out of my wife's mouth let me know that she didn't care about my health, my safety, or the totality of who I was. She said, babe, I've always wanted to swim in the ocean with dolphins. People, I barely swim in pools. Now we're talking about swimming in the ocean with dolphins. Now, I know some of y'all saying, Robert, have more faith. Don't you know greater is he that is in you than he who is in the water? But shut up, I saw Jaws 1, 2, and 3. And that let me know I need to stay on the shore. But love will make you do crazy things. So I said, okay, let's swim with the dolphins. And so we go out there, and I think we got a picture, because some of y'all don't believe that this brother did that. That's me and my wife swimming with the dolphins. So we're out there having a good time, and I'm scared to death. And finally we get in the water with the dolphins, And they start to teach us how to communicate with the dolphins, And here's what messed me up. All the communication is like life or death communication, okay? So like this right here is for the dolphin to hug you, but if your arm's like this, the dolphin would headbutt you. This right here is for the dolphin to kiss you, but if your hands are a little bit open, the dolphin bites the side of your face off. And I got scared, I panicked. You'll see in one of them, this dolphin, I got proof, legal proof, he almost bit the side of my face up. Racist dolphin almost killed me. It gets worse. Then the instructor says, I need you to swim out into the deep. Swim out into the deep. He calls another dolphin over. He said, I need you to swim out into the deep. And here's all you have to do. He said, all you have to do is be still and keep your hands raised. Just be still and keep your hands raised, and the dolphin is gonna come behind you, the two dolphins, and they're gonna push you up. Not that one, we'll get to that in a minute. They're gonna push you, and they're gonna push you up, and you're gonna be floating in the air. All you have to do is just be still. So he looks at me and says, you first. So I go out there and I cannot explain to you how scared I was. My heart is beating out of my chest. I'm crying. I'm praying in the spirit. I'm singing. I'm saying, Spirit, lead me where my trust without borders. Don't let me die up in this water. I mean, I'm scared. All of a sudden, I look at the instructor and I can see him talking to the dolphins. I don't know what he's saying, but I know he's saying something. It looks like he's saying, you know, I've been telling you I'm going to feed you, right? He sends the dolphins toward me. The dolphins start coming full speed towards me, fins out of the water, full speed towards me, fins out of the water. Let me tell you something. I don't care how tough you are. Anytime a fish is coming full speed towards you, fins out of the water, I promise you, you will lose your mind. You will have a panic attack. In fact, I may or may have not peed in the water. I was so scared. And I'm there and I'm nervous, and all of a sudden the dolphins, they come behind me and I can feel them pushing my feet, and they're trying to push me up, and it seems like they're struggling. And in my mind I'm thinking, oh, they changed their mind, they want chocolate, they're gonna eat me. I'm just so scared. But in the midst of my fear, in the midst of my panic, all of a sudden I remembered the word of the instructor. He said, all you have to do is be still and keep your hands raised. All you have to do is just be still and keep your hands raised. And all of a sudden, in the middle of my panic, in the middle of me getting scared, all of a sudden I realized that the thing that I thought was coming to kill me, the thing I thought was coming to destroy me, was actually coming to push me into a new level and a new dimension in life. Now you can put that last picture up. Does that look like somebody that's scared? No, that looks like somebody that understands if you'll just be still and know who your God is. It doesn't matter what the enemy sends your way. That thing might scare you, but it's going to push you into a new realm, into a new dimension of what God has for you. And I feel like God just sent this crazy, screaming, shouting, sweating chocolate brother to tell you in this session at Hillsong Conference that you don't have to be afraid. The thing you're afraid of is actually going to be a catalyst to propel you to the new level and the new dimension that God is going to take you to. I feel like God wanted me to tell you, feel the fear, but do it anyway. God bless you, Hillsong Conference.
Give it up for Robert Madu.
Everybody excited?
Wow, that was powerful. I'm gonna be real quick. So I love what Robert Madu said right there. He said, so often the thing we think that is coming to destroy us or tear us apart is actually something that is going to push us into a new level with God. You know, something that's going to give us new faith, you know, new fearlessness, new boldness. And but so often we echo like God. And but so often in life, you know, it's fear that keeps us out of the places God has in store for us. And I want to quickly read out of Joshua 1 verse 9. If you got your Bibles, who's got their Bibles? Turn to Joshua 1:9 in your imaginary Bible or your iPhone. We're going to read out of that. Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And maybe you're here tonight and you know God's given you a gift. You know God's given you a calling, but fear's been whispering in your ear telling you that you're not good enough, or maybe telling you that you'll never make that dream happen. And but I want to tell you tonight that we serve a God that's so much bigger than any mountain or Goliath will ever face. We serve a God that's so much bigger than the problems you're facing right now. We serve a God that's so much bigger than that bully at school. We serve a God that's so much bigger than, whatever may be going in at home or at school. We serve a God that's so much bigger and who wants to equip you with whatever Goliath you may be facing in your life. And so we're going to split up right now into our connect groups, and we're going to chat about this thing called fear and how it can affect us in our daily lives, but also how God wants to have our back, how God wants us to be strong and courageous, as it says in Joshua 1 verse 9.
So the first question that comes out of that is what is fear?
When you're afraid of something you don't know completely about?
Yeah.
There is something we have a phobia of, or we're afraid we might become, or something along the lines of that.
Yeah. So yeah, fear is pretty much like, in the Christian sense, is doing not wanting to do something because you have no idea what the outcome is going to be. And with this scripture, it's saying that we need to be strong and courageous and show courage even when we don't understand or know what the outcome is going to be of the situation that God puts you in. And sometimes we face trials and we don't know what the end result is, and we get a bit frustrated, we get a bit fearful and stuff like that, and that's where we just need to bring our faith into it. And that faith is seeing the outcome before it even happens. So faith is not seen, but it's believing. Is there anything else in that about fear? Is there any time in your life where you felt fearful in a situation where either someone else has asked you to do something and you're like, no, Jack, because I don't know what's going to happen at the end of it? Or even if God's spoken to you and been like something small, like go pray for that person across the road? I'll start. Like, my biggest fear was, like, I did 2 years of Bible college, and straight after Bible college, God was like, do outreach, and I was like, hell no. Because, like, outreach was something that I used to avoid hard of. People would be like, yeah, let's go do outreach. I'll be like, yo, Mom, coming home, yeah. Sweet. But after Bible college, is something God put on my heart, and some of you guys did it with myself and the team. My first step was going out and feeding the homeless. To some of you guys that did that, it might have looked like I was all good, but I was flipping scared. Because I didn't know how to approach these people in the streets. I didn't know what reaction was going to come out of these homeless people. Like, they could have been aggressive and been like, piss off. Like, leave us alone. We don't want you, like, just disturbing us, you know? I didn't know how many people were going to turn up. I didn't know if we were going to get any donations. All these little things in the back of my mind that held me back from not wanting to do it, but in the end we did it. And after giving it all to God, we ended up getting 20 people at church. We ended up getting 200 lunch packs, which was way higher than our goal. I was aiming to get 80. We got 200 lunch packs off donations. We got 50 t-shirts. We got 20 pairs of shorts that we're able to donate and bless these homeless people with. And out on the streets, we ended up getting testimonies. There was a guy that moved here from Chile. His family up and left him. They moved to Melbourne, and he's been on the streets ever since 1992. Long ass time. And Solilo, I don't know if you guys know him, you might know him, but he's in the States now, one of our awesome leaders. He actually found a homeless dude with a guitar, the most out of tune guitar I've ever heard in my life. Actually tuned it for him and started jamming with him, but I think the thing that stood out for me in that moment was the fact that there was this homeless dude. He went from just looking broken, so like ready to leave the world, to as soon as Lilo played that first chord for him while on the tune guitar, his face just lit up. The fact that we just spent time with him, and that meant the world to him. And for me, that was a moment where I knew that God had me in the right place and where He wanted me to be. And that was it from there. Like, obviously it hasn't been as consistent as I wanted it to be, but we've got some more plans to do homeless outreaches coming up soon, so if you guys are keen, let me know. But that's just a little testimony in my life where I've been real fearful because of not knowing the outcome, and then just giving it to God and just being bold in what God's said, and that's been the outcome.
My greatest fear is not being the best that I can be, so not feeling, not like say in sport, not doing my best, not doing well in school, and just not hitting my full potential.
Yeah. And what have you done to counter that fear? What have you done, or have you put anything in place where that fear has been there, but you've been able to control it with what you do?
Just work harder.
Yeah. Sure, we'll move on to the next. Oh, yes. How does fear stop us from reaching our calling?
Makes you worry about what could happen
Yeah.
in a bad way.
And that again comes back to not knowing the outcome of what you're doing or what you're saying. Any other comments?
It makes you think about all the bad outcomes as opposed to all the good outcomes.
Yeah. And I think that's a big one for all of us, especially when it comes to doing stuff within the Spirit. We think so negatively often. Well, I know personally, I don't want to speak for everyone, but for a lot of Christians, but myself personally, a lot of the time when God asks you to do something, it's like we think negatively, like, oh, what if this happened, what if that happened, like, or just with anything in life, you're like, we get asked to do something, but you're like, what if this happens, but what if this happens, instead of just being like, okay, sweet, you've given me the opportunity to help myself grow. It might be at work where you get asked to do something you've never done before. Like for myself, I got asked to make cabinets for a kitchen. I had no idea how to do that before. Now I know how to put a whole kitchen together. My dad just dropped me there and left me, and he was like, do it. I was like, sweet. And he's like, don't stuff it up. If you do, you're not getting paid. I was like, sweet, that helps me. But it actually did help me because I ended up getting it done, and I did it properly. I don't know how, but it was by the grace of God. Yeah, Jordan.
I had a similar experience at work about a month ago. Up until then, I'd been working just in the back with the dishes, just ever since I started. And then, because one of our co-workers is leaving soon, they wanted me to start training on front of house, so using the till and working directly with customers and things like that. I absolutely hated the first day. It just caused a lot of stress because I always thought I was going to get like an order wrong, or I was just going to stuff up the machine or something.
Where do you work?
Baron's Cafe.
Sure. Hard. Any food. They're $5.
See, and I love how Jordan said that he was on the dishes and then he got brought out to the front, and that's what God does to us sometimes with our walk. He uses us in the things that people can't see, but He can see it. And then when your heart is ready for it, He'll bring us out where people can see our works that we're actually doing for Jesus. E.g., getting us up in front of youth or the church to speak, share a word, or like example, when I started in worship team, I was on words and lights. Now I'm up on stage doing what God wants me to do, and that's just how God works. And that's the thing, even in our lives, there's like stages that we go through because we're always learning, we're constantly learning and growing from it, and we make mistakes on the way. I know I made a lot of mistakes in this place. They got me kicked out of leadership. but you learn and you grow from those situations. Well, hopefully you do.
That's the goal.
Yeah, like the goal should be for you to learn from those mistakes. And what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. For me, I see failure as an opportunity to grow. I don't see it as the end of the world. And I just want to encourage you guys, especially you boys, that I get to look after, well, not look after in the sense of you guys are babies, but to speak into your guys' lives is that we shouldn't see failure as the end of the world thing. We should see it as an opportunity to grow and learn. And I'm not just talking about spiritually, I'm talking about in your guys' lives as well, because there are going to be things that are going to come up and you guys are going to be like, how the heck am I going to tackle this? Because I know for us guys, a big thing is pride. We hate asking for help, or we hate failing and letting other people know. How can we overcome fear? I'm not going to say anything, think about that for a bit, and then when you guys are ready, just speak out. Yeah.
Look to God.
Yeah. Expand on that.
So on times where it's dark or you're at a low peak, you can look, pray to Him to help Him follow you or like lead to light.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, boy?
Jordan.
Ask other people around you for help.
Yeah. I like that. Ask people for help. Ask people for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. If you're struggling, ask people that you trust. I'm here, other leaders are here. Probably don't get to a girl leader because they'll probably just send you back to us. Because they'll have no idea what to say, but like that's what we're here for. We're not just here to say something on a Friday. We're here to walk life with you. Like personally, if you like honestly, I'll be straight up with you guys. As much as I want you guys to walk in Christ and stuff, I can't force you guys. And you guys have lives that you guys are living. I'm here to walk life with you and your Christian walk with you. And at the end of the day, it's up to you guys. I can only do so much. It's your choice if you want to go deeper. And that's what I'm here for. You can ask me and I'll do that with you. But at the end of the day, I can only do so much. Your peers around you can only do so much. It's the choices that you make that get you to where you want to be. It's like what you put in is what you'll get out. If you really want to give everything to God and make those sacrifices, I'm here, I'm ready to walk with you. But at the end of the day, it's your guys' choice. I can't force you. I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and be like, follow Jesus, or you're going to go to hell. It's not my job. Only Jesus can change you guys. And that's just me being straight up. Because I've gotten to a stage in my life, I've realized I'm doing a lot of things that I shouldn't be. They're not like, oh my gosh, you're going to get arrested and stuff, but it's just things that I realized that I want to walk like Christ, but what I'm doing at the moment is not what Christ would be pleased with. And I need to be real with myself, to take myself slowly away from those clubbing environments, hanging out with certain people, going to certain places. It's a hard sacrifice for me because I love dancing. I don't even drink anymore. But at the same time, I know I need to do some things if I want to walk in Christ, if I want to grow in my faith. So at the end of the day, it's up to you guys. Sweet? Just going to be straight up, no beating around the bush. Because I don't want you guys to come in here and see fake people. I want you guys to come in here and see real people, and you guys be able to be real. Be yourselves, not be, oh, we're in church, you need to, oh, you can't swear, oops, I swore, oh, I'm going to get out. No, if you swear, you swear. I'm not saying swear every time you come here. I'm just saying if it happens, it happens. Like, just forgive yourself. Don't feel guilty. Like, so what? You trust, you know? We're all human. We make mistakes. Cool. Anyone else got comments?
Just faith.
Yeah.
What's faith? Is it the common you have one word, faith?
Expand on faith. What do you mean by faith?
Just
I know what you mean because we spoke about it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But what do you mean by faith? So that these guys know because they would.
I'm trying to like look for a job in my passion,
Yeah.
what I love, and it's just been real tough. So I'm like real scared. So at the moment, I'm just giving it all to God, and then hopefully, just if it's what He wants me to do,
Yeah.
then sweet, He'll give it to me. So just trusting Him, just having a bit of faith in about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
So just give faith, just hope, just think positive.
Yeah.
If you want it, then it will come.
Yeah.
Sure, man.
And can I just say that faith comes with risk and action.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to fight for what we want. We can't just be like, God, I want to be this, and they're going to be it. You can't be like, God, I want to be in the NBA, and he's going to be like, here you go, my son. You need to actually work your ass off to get there. You need to put the yards in the gym, weights and with the ball. You can't just be like, yeah, God, I want to be in the NBA. Me, God, I want to be in the NRL. Sweet, you're going to Oz next week. Nah, you have to work. And that's how it is with God as well. You want to be somewhere, you need to work. If you want to be a preacher that goes around the work for it. Around the world, work for it. If you believe that God sees you in another country sharing His gospel, work for it. The thing is, you guys have to put yourselves in that position where God's able to use you and not let other people hold you back from what God has for you. You might not know it now or not, but when the time comes, it's up to you. Like I said, it comes back to that choice. It's the choice you want to make. You're either in or out, there's no sitting on the fence. As sad as it sounds, up to you, no sitting on the fence. If you want to sit on the fence, you might as well be out. Simple as that. But in saying that, none of us are perfect and we're not going to get there straight away. It's a process. You guys got to remember, we do stuff up as humans. It's just up to you to not let that guilt hold you back. To let other people, what they say, hold you back. Because it's so easy to fall into that trap. Oh, Malachi, you're useless, you'll never be a leader. So easy to fall into that. Because all of you guys have potential. It's up to you guys if you put yourself in that potential and run. Cool? Yeah, and like in that message, I love how he said, sometimes we can feel like the thing that God sends towards us is there to destroy it, but really it's there to lift us up to that next level. Like, that message was so short, but it hit me so hard. And that's so true. It happened in my life. I don't know much about you guys, like your testimonies, but I can experience and speak from that. Like, so many times in my life I've been like, what the heck, God, what's going on? But then it's the very thing that God said to lift me up. Comes through people, comes through, I don't know, whatever happens around you, you know? So just remember one thing I want you guys to remember, sometimes we feel like whatever God sends is there to attack us, but really it's there to lift us up. Just put yourselves in a position. Sweet?